Welcome back, guys, to the Heavy Praise podcast. I am Heavy Praise. Thank you guys so much for all the love and support. I really appreciate y'all so much. I mean, every day I'm blown away. Like I'm doing this as a hobby, and I just love doing it. And I love Christian metal bands. And speaking of Christian metal bands, I'm with someone very special today. If you want to introduce yourself real quick,
Hey guys, this is Morgan from the band Tundra.
Tundra. Now let me say something real quick, because I'm pretty sure who promoted you? Was it Kingdom Core that promoted you guys?
No, I've
Who
been trying
promoted?
to I've been
Who?
trying to get Sean to acknowledge that we exist for so long. He won't do it. Uh,
Okay.
but uh, uh,
Who promoted you? I'm trying to remember who promoted you.
Chris from For the Rock.
For the Rock
He
promoted you.
he
Okay.
did our album art, which is right here. He did this year album art
He
for
made
us.
that?
He made that, yeah.
What? I didn't know
So
Chris was like that.
yeah, he used to do album art a lot. I don't know if he still does or if he just does it on occasion, but yeah, that
Wow.
was that was something he was doing for a while. I
Wow,
think he I
that's
think he does a lot of the art for his own music projects and stuff too that he
yeah,
does.
yeah, yeah. Dude, that's so great. Um, dude, wow. I'm blown away. I didn't know Chris was like that. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Shout out for the Rock.
Yeah, he's a cool guy. I've got to chat with him a little bit here and there over the last couple of years, and obviously, there's a lot of us small Christian metal bands, and it's easy to get lost in the noise or kind of hard to find the good ones. And people like Chris make it a lot easier.
Right. Yeah, I just wanted to say, like, when Chris promoted you guys, I was like, huh. And like I heard that little clip that he posted, and I was like, oh, let me check these guys out. And like, dude, ever since like y'all dropped that album, oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. I mean, I am like, I love your guys' style. I mean, like I love the just like the heaviness, the grooves, I mean, your vocals sound great as well. I mean,
Thanks, man.
seriously. Yeah, yeah, of course. I mean, I just want to know, like, I want to pick your brain on why why the album art is that way. Like why did Chris make it that way? Like why is it called Eternal? Well, first of all, why are you guys called Tundra?
Mm. Well, the band name, unfortunately, is not a very exciting story.
Okay.
So, so when I was in college, I went to school for audio engineering, and I just kind of wanted experience mixing different genres of music. And so I started like four different solo projects all at the same time that were all different genres. And so they were all kind of just generic because I didn't think any of them would stick. I was just kind of doing it for myself to learn how to mix different styles of music. And it just so happened that Tundra got a little bit of momentum behind it over a couple weeks. So I just decided to stick with that one. But the name Tundra just is like I was like, well, the music's kind of cold and dark and menacing, so we'll just kind of find a name that fits that style. So that's where the name Tundra comes from. So not unfortunately, that's not the most interesting answer as far as like band names go. If I knew that Tundra was going to have some longevity, I probably would have tried to come up with something better or more interesting. But the album Eternal is really just a nod to uh, life after death. It's a nod to God. Um, the album conceptually largely has to do with hardships in life. We use a lot of horror imagery to kind of use as like metaphors, as conduits for getting our point across. But basically, life kind of sucks sometimes, and that's okay because God will use all hard things and bad things to glorify Him, and we get to be a part in that. And there's something beautiful and powerful about that. So that's what the album's about. And originally, when we wrote it, it was just an EP, and that's when Chris did the album art for us. And back then, it was really just like the four or five songs that were on it were really leaning hard into the horror imagery and stuff. And so we were like, the album's called Eternal. Here's what the songs are. Here's what those songs are about. We don't know what we want the album cover to be. And honestly, I had like I just like made a post on Instagram and I was like, "Hey, people who do graphic design. I don't know what to do for the album art. Hit me up. And I had like 4 or 5 people jotting ideas back and forth. And I just like, woke up in the middle of the night one day to use the restroom and checked my email like an idiot. And Chris had sent the album art. He's like, "Hey, what about this?" And I was like, "That's it. That's it. No competition." It just blew everything else out of the water that we were talking about. And um, I think you would probably want to talk to him more about like the intricacies on what everything on there is really supposed to mean. But I think it, it kind of does a good job. Is just like I see it as the light amongst the darkness and the life amongst the dead, which I think does the job.
Yeah. I mean, it does. Amen. And I just love how like it does look like dark, but the light that is shining from the lamp and it really makes the picture like stand out and it's really cool to look at. Like I think this album or he did a fantastic job with it. I
Yeah.
mean, I'm just looking at it right now. Like it just looks great. I mean, it really looks like it looks so cold. It looks like eerie and dark and just like not good. But then like the light, he's like trying to make his way through and it looks so good. Um so tell me a little bit about this album. Like why did you guys decide like you guys decided to make the full album when Chris sent that album cover to you?
So it was an EP. So we released it
Right.
as an EP, and that was we just used the same art for the
Oh,
EP
okay,
and the
okay,
album
okay, okay.
version. We fleshed it out into a full album because
Mm,
we knew we had the time to do it.
yeah.
And we also felt like we hit a stride in what we were doing because I don't think it's streaming anywhere anymore, but we did have a album before Eternal. It was called Wastelands,
Mm,
but it was very experimental. It was very all over the place stylistically. I wasn't really sure what niche Tundra was trying to cater to. And when we came back around and did Eternal right afterwards, I was like, I think this is it. I think this is what we want to do. Kind of taking my favorite bits and pieces of what we did on the first record and kind of hashing it out. And so it was actually kind of easy for us to take it from an EP into a full album just because I felt like we found the components that we liked about our music. We were able
mm,
to expand on it.
yeah. I mean, amen. Um, so what really inspired like this album and like tell me about like the songwriting process like during this album creation. Like tell me like what was going through y'all's heads and like why you guys made the album the way it is right now.
Yeah. Do you mean like lyrically or do you
Yeah,
mean
I mean everything,
musically or
everything.
okay.
Musically, tell me about the songwriting process, all that stuff.
Sure. Well, musically, I guess we'll start there because I think that's easier to
Yeah.
explain. So, the earlier draft of Tundra was a little more, I mean, it had like breakdowns and stuff, but it was like more in the death metal category. It was a lot of like thrashier riffs and stuff like that. And I felt like we experimented a lot and it was easier to like when we came back and did Eternal, we were like, okay, so we like some of these like more metal riffs, but let's give them more structure and not just chaotic and fast. And then, we obviously wanted to keep the breakdowns. And then something that we experimented with a little bit and really locked in on was all the like spooky soundscape stuff, the like creepy synths and sound effects and stuff like that. I mean, Red, all-time favorite band. Love
Yeah.
that band. And they are like the kings of that kind of stuff. They got the orchestras and the creepy synths and
Yep.
it adds a lot to their music. It's a nice contrast with all their heavy instrumentation. So that was really easy for us to kind of lock in on. Lyrically, I just kind of um, always liked the idea of a concept album, and I think calling this a concept album might be a little generous, but it was approach it that most, if not all, of the songs told a story in isolation that um, we would use like imagery from a horror story. So like let's take Undead for an example. Our song Undead is like it's talking about the second coming and life after death and all of that, but then we mask it behind zombie metaphors and stuff,
Hmm.
like just because we were like, oh, that'd be fun because the original EP was released like right before Halloween, and we were just like, that'd be fun.
Yeah.
So we just kind of went from there. But the album itself kind of tells a story in that the title track and then kind of Welcome to Hell as well kind of is about someone who kind of was a Christian and kind of walks away from the faith. Either whether, and we all know that happens to people. We know people that's happened to. And then the next several songs is like, oh, bad things happen. And then it ends the album with our kind of slow ballady worshipy song, which is kind of coming back full cycle. So it kind of tells a story long form in that as well.
Yeah. I mean, that's wonderfully said. Um, I wanted to say like like tell me more about the songwriting process. Like, is it you that does like the majority of the work, or like does is everyone involved like with ideas and songs and stuff like that, and riffs and everything?
Yeah. It's mostly me. I don't know if we said this at the beginning, but I sing in the band and
Right.
I do the primary of the songwriting. So I basically I don't know if literally all, but basically all of the guitar parts on the record was me playing.
Yeah.
And then the drum stuff, I understand drums enough that I can like kind of write out parts, but I'm not like a great drummer. So like our drummer at the time, he came in and he's like, "Oh, what if we do this and make it a little more interesting?" So he did a lot of that as far as like making the drums more interesting. But the record was primarily written by me, but obviously it took us long enough because we basically by the beginning of 2021 we had the record finished, and then it didn't come out till the beginning of 2025. So that gave us we sat on it for a long time, which gave a little bit of time for every now and then someone would be like, "What if the song was slightly different?" So then I care about my bandmates' opinions and thoughts, and if I really think that their ideas make the song better, we want to implement that. And we're already actually working on new stuff obviously, because we sat on this record for 4 years.
Yeah.
And so we're already obviously
Ha
working on new stuff. So that's a lot more collaborative. Like everyone else's, our guitar players brought some riffs, and my brother's our bass player, and he does a lot of the
what?
clean. Yeah, my brother plays bass in the band, and he also does a lot of the clean singing in the band.
Oh, that's so cool.
So he is not super savvy in songwriting, but he has a good when something is like well put together, he can kind of look at it holistically and be like, what if this is slightly different, and what if this is he's got a good ear for that kind of stuff too. So the new stuff turned out to be a lot more collaborative,
Wow.
but the Eternal was like 80% me. Yeah.
Wow. That's cool. Um, so how long did it take you to write this album and like
um
fully complete it?
like a month.
A month?
I don't know. So it was done in chunks. So the initial 4 or 5 songs that were the EP version, I really did write in like a month or two. And then when I was like, yeah, we could probably just flesh this out into a whole album, I probably had the rest of it written like a few weeks to a month after that.
That's so crazy.
So it was pretty quick that it came together. But like I said, I mean, we hit a stride once I kind of locked in and was like, hey, this is what I did like and what I didn't like about the first album. It was really easy to kind of run with it. And I'm really a riff guy. Like the part of songwriting that takes me a long time is the lyrics
Yeah.
and coming up with themes and stuff.
Yeah.
And but you give me a guitar and I'll write songs real quick. I love coming up with groovy riffs and stuff.
Yeah.
So
That's so cool. Um, what was I gonna say? I was gonna say something. So who influenced you? Like what music genre or like not music genre, sorry, music like bands that really influenced the sound of Tundra that we know today? Like what bands really like influenced all y'all's like minds to make something like the bands that we're kind of like influenced by?
hmm well, I mentioned Red. I think
Right.
Red's all-time favorite band, and
Yeah.
obviously they're not a metal band per se. They're like a hard rock band, but
Yeah.
I think as far as like heavy guitar parts and extra soundscapey stuff, I love that stuff. And
Hmm.
that they were probably not the only, but the biggest influence for me there. And then obviously, like, as most people who got into Christian metal around when I did, Demon Hunter was a big band as far as like kind of having a little bit of variation and like you hear some really heavy songs, but then hear some slower songs. We like that. I would say more directly in that camp would be probably like Whitechapel.
Whichever.
I unpopular opinion, but I actually think that Phil Bozeman's got some real sick cleans. I think he's a great singer. I know that's an unpopular opinion, but I really like their more melodic stuff. So we kind of took that route because I don't think we're really a deathcore band. I think we're like a dark metalcore band, I guess. We're not really deathcore, but like, you know, we're obviously inspired by some deathcore stuff. Like I'm a really big Impending Doom fan, and so bands like that I'm really into. So I would say Whitechapel as far as like yeah, kind of deathcore, but like we got some melodic stuff going on too. So that those are some of the big ones. But I'm trying to keep my finger on the pulse of what's happening in metal, and you know if something really stands out to me, I'll kind of lean into it a little bit too.
Cool. Do you guys think about with your new music, do you think you'll open up like for some collabs with other bands?
Yep. Yeah, I think so. We actually have a song that we're working on that I haven't actually messaged him about it, but I have a guy specifically who I was like, I think his voice would be sick on this track. So we're gonna try to get in touch with him and see if he'll do it. And then yeah, I'd like to do that more. I think collaborative songwriting has been really a fun experience for me because I've like Tundra was primarily just my solo project. I didn't know if it was going to go anywhere. I didn't know if we'd be a real band. You know, we signed to a record label and we've opened up for real established bands, and it's been cool. I didn't think we'd be here, so now it's like expanding out what the songwriting process is like. I'm definitely open to collaborating with people, and that specifically is hopefully going to look like getting a couple guest vocalists on that I'm really into. But we'll see how that materializes.
Yeah, that's awesome. Do you go to church out in Kansas?
I do, yeah.
Yeah. Is it do you have like any funny stories? Like have you told anyone that you're in like a Christian metal band and like do people think that like, whoa, you're in a Christian metal band? What the heck? Like what is that? Like or whatever. Like any funny stories or not? Not really.
Not really. People are
Are they
pretty
supportive?
easygoing. Uh, Largely, I would say. So my pastor actually listened to my record when it came out, and
What?
he was like, I don't know if that was really my style of music, but like, hey, good job on that, you know. My pastor actually used to play guitar in a band, not a metal band, but he did play guitar in a band.
Wow.
So he's into the Christian music scene, and I have the guy who leads my Bible group that is through my church, but it meets at my home. Um he's been pretty supportive of us. He's actually come out to a couple of our shows and like run our merch booth for us and stuff, and
What?
been really supportive. I don't think he really gets the genre either. Like he like I'm pretty sure I heard him call it screamo one time, and I was like, oh, okay, yeah, one of those
Oh
guys. All
my
right,
gosh.
so there's that. But yeah, I haven't had like anyone be like, oh, weird. Like no one's. I don't think anyone's been weird, or I don't think anything funny's come out of
Not
it. I mean,
not even like your family or anything like that.
nah, because I mean, I've been into this kind of music long enough that it doesn't really surprise him. My dad actually, this is his fault. My my dad wasn't ever into like the super heavy metal stuff, but he's into like a lot of the hair bands and stuff of the 80s and stuff. And I was always around guitar oriented music
Mm.
growing up just because of my dad. So he was playing bands like Striper would be the obvious
Yeah,
one,
I
but
was
also
literally
bands
about to say
like
Striper.
yeah, he was also into bands like, Rush and
Yeah.
all sorts of guitar oriented stuff of his generation. So when I was coming into my own style of music as a middle schooler, he was the one who was taking me all to my shows,
Wow.
and he was like, the music was awesome. I don't really like those vocals, but the music's awesome. So it's really my dad's fault that I got into this stuff. But yeah, they haven't been surprised, and they've come out to shows and been supportive, and yeah, it's
Oh,
been
that's
cool.
great. That's great. Um, so what's it looking like time frame for a possible like mini tour with y'all, like with other bands and stuff? Like, do you guys have anything planned or working something out with that? Not yet.
Not no. I wanted to work something out when we put out the record back in April, right? That's when we put it out, I think.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
I don't know. I wanted to try to work something out. I was trying to, so we signed to Rottweiler Records,
yeah.
and I just thought it would be cool. Like, let's just go out for a week or something, hit up the Midwest. There's other bands in the Midwest and the South that are on Rottweiler. Let's just play some shows with the guys. And life happened, and it got here, and it was kind of too late.
Mm.
We did do a mini tour once with just some other Kansas City bands, and um, that was an experience, but it was like something that we were like, we're glad we did it when there were like no stakes. So we kind of knew what we were getting into. Because now I think we would take it a lot more seriously and be more professional about it. We've done out of town shows before, like we've gone to Chains on Chain Festival the last 2 summers, which has been really fun.
That's cool.
Um, yeah, Wolves at the Gate headlined last year. That was insane because
Yeah.
the uh, side story, if you don't mind. I saw Wolves at the Gate live like right before their Eclipse album came out.
Wow.
And afterwards, I was just like chatting with the guys. I was like, hey, great show, big time fan, blah, blah, blah. And I ended up helping them load up. And we just went to IHOP together with like Wolves at the Gate, myself, and a couple other guys throughout the show. And
What?
then, yeah, and then like the couple guys who I went with, we were the ones who were like, what if we started a band together? And I was like, well, actually, I have this thing called Tundra. So it didn't really materialize that they were like the final draft of what a Tundra lineup would be, but that did get the ball rolling on a live version of the band. And so when we opened for them last summer, I was like, hey, do you remember this? Because that like got the ball in rolling for. They were like, oh my gosh, that's so cool. Like, so that was really cool. But um, yeah, as far as touring, I think we would do it, but it would have to. It would be kind of complicated now. I have two young kids.
Mm,
None
true.
of the other guys in the band have kids yet, but um, that would be something to consider. And then we all have, big boy jobs. So we would have to, do PTO, or I would have to get a stronger laptop so I could do my work on the road because I work from home. So that's
Oh wow,
kind of
that's sick.
easier.
Yeah.
Yeah. So there's a version of life that would allow that to happen. But realistically, it would probably be like, hey, this weekend we go here, this weekend we go here, this week, it'd probably be something more like that. But we would
Right.
definitely be down for it. It's more of a matter of someone wanting to take us out because we're a small enough band that I don't think we have the draw. I think if we just hit up local bands in a specific area, I don't know if that's good enough. I think it would have to be like a more established band than us would
Yeah.
want to take us out for something. But we would do it. It would just be a matter of making sure the logistics make sense.
Yeah. Hey, I mean, shoot, if hit up Wolves at the Gate, maybe you can get hop on them,
Yeah,
hop
there you
on
go.
with them for like a week and a half or something like that. You never know.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah,
that
that would
could
be
that could
cool.
definitely work. I mean, if I've obviously like the Lord allows it, um, but yeah, I mean that's so cool that happened. That's so crazy. What the heck?
Yeah,
That's so crazy. Do you know where I live? I don't think I ever told you. Do you know where I
I know
live?
you're on East Coast. I don't
East
remember
Coast.
where.
I live in New Jersey.
New Jersey.
Yeah,
Okay.
New Jersey. Yeah, I live in South Jersey, this area called Cherry Hill. It's like right outside of Philadelphia.
Okay.
But I live right next to Plead the Widow's Cause. I live literally 5 minutes down the road from Pipe Bomb. I don't know if you heard of Pipe Bomb,
Yeah.
but
Yeah. No pipe
yeah,
bomb. Yeah.
I live 5 minutes down the road. Me and him were like really close now, and like we're really close friends. Shout out Pipe Bomb, Mitch. You the man. Shout out Plead the Widow's Cause. Um, but yeah, those guys are super cool, super nice. But yeah, that's basically where I live, and yeah, it's pretty cool over here. I mean, definitely, there's a lot of stuff to like. The scene is kind of growing over here a little bit, like the metal scene a little bit. It's cool to see. Well, I mean, the Christian metal scene, excuse me,
Yeah.
but
Yeah, it's weird for us here because like in the general Kansas City area, we're kind of it. Like we're kind of the only there are other metal and core bands around, thankfully. But there aren't any other heavy Christian bands anymore. So
mm,
we're kind of the odd man out
you gotta you gotta
as far
bring
as
the
that's concerned.
you gotta start the revival, man. You
I
gotta
guess we're
gotta
we're trying.
Yeah, you got to start the revival, man. All it takes is a mustard seed of faith. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
That's it.
Hmm.
Um, but that's really cool. So with this new music that's coming out, um, What would you say the theme is going to be? And if you can give us some insight on that, if that's okay. A little sneak peek on what we're expecting to hear from you guys. Like what like how I mean, I don't know if you have a set amount of songs that you guys want to do or like what is the general theme of this next EP album, whatever.
Well, I should say that there's multiple things in the works, and I don't know the timeline on what makes sense to do when. That's something I'm going to have to talk to the label about and see what they think makes sense as far as timeline goes. But we're working on multiple things. So part of that, I guess it's probably okay that I kind of jot this out. So we are working on doing a little bit of a remix, remaster of the original album Wastelands.
Wow.
It's not going to be the full album because there were a couple songs that were like, nah, that song's kind of bad. It,
Wow.
but there are like some songs that I think that like the essence of Tundra is in there,
Yeah.
and it's worth preserving for the handful of hardcore fans we have. It's worth keeping that somewhere where they have it if they want
How
it.
many songs? Like five?
So the full record was 13 songs, and I think
Sheesh.
I think we're kind of down to nine.
Wow, I mean, it's
So
still
it's
pretty much a
base.
full album.
y- It's basically still a full album. We're keeping most of it, so we're slowly working on that. That's mostly just a remix thing. Like
Yeah.
most of the stuff was still good enough that we're not having to re-record much.
Yeah.
Um, and then we have another thing that is like a eternal B-sides kind of thing, I guess, where we're kind of doing there's a little bit of new music on it, and then there's a couple acoustic versions, and then there's a couple alternate versions of songs and stuff. So it's just kind of like taking Eternal and expanding it out. And then after that is an actual new album. And that is basically done in the demo process. The demos are all done. It's now a matter of making sure that the songs that have singing for Steven are in a key that makes sense for him to sing, and finalizing lyrics. I think the concepts of the songs are all kind of finalized. It's more of a matter of making sure that we make the lyrics the best that they can be. So that's I don't know what to say about that other than that it's going to be, I think, more high energy than Eternal was. And I think Eternal was kind of slow and groovy and doomy. And I think the new music's a little more chaotic and high pace. So I don't know if I can say much more past that, just because we're still putting it together. But all that to say, we have a lot working, re-recording old music, expanding on Eternal, and new album, all in the works. I don't know what the order of, but there's a lot that we're working on.
Wow. You guys have your hands full, huh?
Yes,
Do you
yes,
guys do you guys feel like you're in a good state right now, or do you guys feel like you're heading toward a brick wall into burnout?
no. I'm not really worried about burnout. It helps that as a lot of this stuff is already done, or it's just getting slowly worked on over time, because we're actually in between drummers right now.
Yeah.
And so that means that we don't have any shows that we're getting ready for right now. And so that, once a week that we were getting together to practice is now once a week that we're getting together to work on stuff.
Hmm.
So now we're just using that, few hours every week to, you know, uh, ma- working on the demos or whatever. And it helps that a lot of it was already done. I've been working on it off and on for the last year, so it helps that we have this little bit of time set aside where we can work on it without having to like work hard on it. And it also helps that like we're not under any time pressure. Like the label's not calling us up being like, get this done by this time or anything like that. They're not doing that. They're just like, when it's done, and we want it to be the best it can be. And if that means it takes a little bit longer, that's fine. So Rottweiler's been really good to us, and yeah, I'm not really worried about burnout. I think more really the opposite is probably true, where I just like Eternal took us so long to put out that by the time we finally did put it out, I was I was like, yeah, Eternal's cool, yeah. But this other stuff, like I'm ready to kick it into gear and to go forward. I just get excited, and sitting around on records like is kind of stressful. I hear that's semi common that bands will finish a record and then have to sit on it for a long time, but that would drive me crazy if
Yeah.
if that's the norm. So
Well, do you guys plan on within the next like month or two releasing like a single or like two singles?
No,
No.
probably not that soon. I think if we really wanted to, we probably could, but I'd rather it be we have a release date for one of those things.
Okay.
And then once we have the release date set, then we can start dropping a single or two ahead of time
Okay.
for promotion.
No.
So I don't think we're quite close enough for any of those projects to say like, oh, here's a definite timeline for that. But it's coming soon.
Okay.
Everything's coming along with such good process that I can't imagine any of it's going to take very long. So
Yeah.
follow us at Facebook and Instagram at Tundra Metal Band to stay in the loop.
Nice. Nice little shameless plug. But
That's what we're here for, right?
yeah,
Talk Christian
exactly.
metal, man.
Exactly. Um well, with that being said, if there's anything that, that you have done and you want like a little review, inside review before you release it, you can always, my DM is always open and I
Okay.
love hearing new material from bands.
All right. I
So,
will I will send you it's not mixed, but I'll send you then what will probably, if I had to guess, will probably be the next single if I had to
okay.
guess. So I'll send you the demo version of that
But
because it's we actually played it. Live once on our album release show. We played an album release show when Eternal came out, and we ended the set like, "Hey, it took us so long to put out this album that we're already almost done writing more music. So here's another new song." So we ended the set by playing that song. So
nice, nice.
anyone who was at that show actually has heard it already, but for everyone else, I think it'll be a treat because I'm really excited about that song. It's really cool.
Wow.
It kind of it kind of like what we did with the first album. Take what we like, capitalize on it. I think that's really what this song does too.
Yeah,
And yeah, I'm excited about it.
cool. What's your favorite song off of Eternal that you loved writing and also that you love playing live?
Mm,
And if you can't figure out one song, give me a top three.
top three. Okay, that would be easier. Okay, well, I'll say this. I think musically, our best song is Welcome to Hell because I think it's kind of got a little bit of everything going on. It's got the breakdown, it's got the cool riff, it's got a little bit of clean singing, it's got a guitar solo, it's got the cool creepy synths. It's just got a little bit of everything, right? So I think, and also I just think it's a well-written song. So I think like that's probably debatably, objectively our best song. I'm kind of over it because we've had it in our rotation for so long. I may be mistaken, but I think we've played it every single show we've ever done. So I'm kind of like, all right, this one again. But
All right,
I,
we get
yeah,
it.
it's like the hit. The band's got to play their
Their hit
popular song,
song.
but then
Yeah, yeah,
then they get tired of it. But
yeah, yeah.
so that's kind of where I'm at with that song. I think objectively, it's probably our best song, but I would say that my favorite song might be The Witch. I really like that song. It's really fun because the riffs on it are fun to play. Like I had fun writing that song instrumentally.
Dude, that's my favorite song off the album.
Oh,
Just
really?
letting you know. Yeah.
Nice. Yeah. And
So good.
it's so fun live. We actually uh Chains Unchained was our this summer was our most recent show, and we actually decided to change our set list a little bit, so we ended with it
Yeah.
instead of having it towards the beginning of the set, and it was a really fun closing song because it's the chorus is three words, so like we actually are at the point where we go to like these Christian metal specific events, and there's actually people there who know our music, so then I can like, all right, sing the chorus with me, and then people will do it and like it's fun. And so that's part of what's fun about that song is like live it kicks butt. And we're at the point where if there's people who know our music, they're like, yeah, yeah, we got you, boo. And yeah, that one's fun. And lyrically, I think it's an important song too. Just like it's a song just dealing about like lust and temptation, and I think that's something that most people deal with, but especially younger men, and it's I think an important thing to kind of get out that like, hey, watch out for this stuff, and
Sure.
so yeah, I really like that song. That I don't, again, probably not objectively our best song, but I love doing that one live. I have not got we that's
I
another
think it's
song
your
that
best
I
song.
oh well thanks. I, again, I don't uh that's actually another song that we might have done every show we've ever played, if I'm not mistaken. But
Mm.
I have not gotten tired of doing that one live.
Yeah, yeah.
It's got a lot of fun energy live.
Oh yeah, for sure. So Welcome to Hell, The Witch. Give me one more.
Okay, one more. What's I don't even know what songs are on here.
Bruh.
What songs are on here? So the other one that I think is like really really good live is Undead. I think that one as if we're just talking about songs that are fun to do live, I would say that one because every like that one's like our fastest song. Like I don't know
Yeah,
if you know I don't know if you're a music guy like technically speaking, but like it's like 208 beats per minute or something. Like it's
that's
really
yeah.
fast.
I noticed it's really fast. Yeah,
Yeah, so that's like a really fun one live, and I would say maybe up in that same vein as maybe like Hostage. I really
yeah, yeah.
like those couple
Hostage.
songs, but
Yeah. Did you guys play Insane? Well, you guys played everything, right? You played everything
yeah,
live, dude.
we've played the entire album at this point. Not every song at every show. But yeah, we at this point we've played every song. Insane we've only played two or three times,
Mm.
but it's funny because my brother, he's the kind of guy who will complain about a song being too complicated to play. But then, like, if I give him an easy riff, he's like, "Well, now this is just Neanderthal music." Uh, so Insane's like that. Insane is a lot of triplets and ones and zeros and stuff.
Yeah.
So it's very, very easy to play. And he's like, "Oh, come on, man. Why are we playing this song?" But then, like, the last time we played it, we were at practice, and he's like, "You know what? It's growing on me, you know." So it's a fun, short, violent song. So yeah,
Yeah.
it's fun.
Yeah. That's cool, man. That's really cool. Oh, what was I gonna say? I was gonna say something else too. Uh, my gosh, I completely blanked, bro. It's
No idea.
horrible. That's horrible. Yeah, I just blanked. That's great. Um, with like your new material, like I know you said you have like a bunch of ideas and stuff. Is there anything like really focused on like any songs that you're gonna make like focused on like biblical teachings or like stories and stuff like that, like what Jesus has preached in the Gospels, or just like anything that like Paul says in the New Testament, or anything from the Old Testament, like Moses or David or anything like that, like anything like really biblical, like coming into like your new songs, or is it just gonna be like just like stemming and grabbing from it and just pulling it out?
Let me pull up my folder of the demos and look at the song titles so I know specifically what I'm thinking about. The problem is like I have so many things going on in my brain all at once that it's hard to
Yeah,
like hone in. So I will say I don't know if I ever want to do the concept album thing again. I don't know if I ever want to do that like with Eternal. It was like an extra hoop to jump through
sure.
in songwriting. Like I actually am pretty proud of how Eternal came out, but in hindsight, there were more straightforward ways to say what I was trying to say, and it was a fun creative writing process. But I don't know if I would do something like that again. So I am cool with just being more direct and straightforward about stuff going forward. So um, I think there is going to be some of that. Um, I'm actually my wife and I have started reading through our Bibles earlier this year because that's something that she's never done before and something I technically haven't done before. I've like read, books here and there at different times, but I've never like gone all the way through or anything like that. And I am reading through Matthew right now, and I think it's in the Sermon on the Mount where Jesus talks about the house on the rock versus the house on the sand. And so we actually have a song that's in the works that is called House on the Sand.
Wow.
So so there is some of that. I think it will probably be a lot more straightforward because I am in a different place in my faith than I was when I wrote Eternal.
Let's talk
Because
about
when
that.
I
Let's talk about that.
Sure. Well, when I was writing Eternal, I was in college, and I was young. I'm still young. I was young, and I grew up in a Christian home, but I kind of got to the point where religion was like a routine.
Mm.
It was like you go to church on Sundays, you probably have a Bible study at some point during the week, try to pray, try to read your Bible, and it was very routine for me. But I think in and so like I would say that I was a Christian and I would, be happy to have those conversations with people and stuff as but when I think especially when I got married and then I became a dad and I just kind of looked at my life and realized that I wasn't the man I wanted to be. And I could pinpoint certain things that I was like, I think if I was just like a better structured person, a lot of which could be tied to Christianity, I think I would be a better husband, I would be a better father, and I want that for my family. And that's been a real big level up moment for me. Has just been taking it more seriously the last year or so, being more uh, intentional with my prayer life, being more intentional about the time I spend reading my Bible. Not just I'm just reading my Bible to say I did it, but actually like taking it slow. And if I don't understand something, I have one of those giant, study Bibles that the footnotes are bigger than the Bible itself. So like if I'm reading something, I'm like, what does that really mean? I can like kind of check there, cross-reference stuff, so really making sure I'm getting the most out of it. So that's been really great for me the last year or two. And I think that's been a really a big positive on myself and my family. And um, I think that's definitely going to come out in our future music.
Oh, that's great. That's amazing. Praise God that you're in this stage of life right now where your God is giving you the revelation, no pun intended with the song Revelation on your album.
Yeah.
But like the revelation of like your life and he's saying like my son, like I really want you to improve for the future and improve for your own children, and to be that dad, that awesome dad that is a Bible believing dad that just wants to love and nurture their kids, but also obviously give them direction and guidance,
Yep.
and being that all the time, and obviously washing your wife in the word, and just being the best husband to your wife, because I mean your guys' connection is so important to I mean to everything in life. I mean, but it all starts with obviously the connection with Jesus first, because if you're not loving Jesus right, then you're not going to love your wife right. You're not going to love your kids right. But like once you get that down, then loving your wife is so easy. Like you'll want to serve her. That's what I'm trying to work on right now, because I'm getting married at the end of September.
Oh,
And
congratulations.
oh,
That's
thank you so
exciting.
much. Thanks
Yeah.
so much. Yeah, and Amy, if you're watching this, I love you so much, and you're really amazing, and I want to do everything for you and with you, and I'm trying my best, and I know I mess up sometimes, but I'm trying my best to really focus on loving God and loving my fiance, and to really hunker down on what really matters and how to handle things and how to get through things, how to talk about things, how to communicate with things, just like stuff like that. But like, and then like, if you have a good relationship with Jesus and your wife, you're gonna have a good relationship with your band members, and then your guys are gonna make like great music together. If you guys are all syncing together and all like-minded, and but yeah, I mean that's so great that you're on that you have that mindset now.
Well, and I should also point out that like this is great evidence that like marriage is a a God-founded institution that is like marriage is to teach us more about the image of God
Literally.
in that he made both men and women, and we would admit that they men and women have their differences, but they are both made in the image of God. And so they she picks up for where you might be a little weaker and vice versa. And a lot of this shift in my life was kind of guided by my wife. not that she was like, you need to be a better husband or anything, but she just kind of, she was the one who kind of pushed the initiative in us, like specifically like spending more time in the Word.
Mm.
That was more of a her thing than it was a me thing. But like that's like a great example of like, um, this is like God's design for us. Um, so yeah, it's been great. So good luck. It's
Oh, thanks,
it's
man.
got its hard days, but it's totally worth it. It's great.
Sure. Um, Amen to that. And a marriage also represents obviously Christ and the church,
Yes. Yeah.
and what marriage is actually supposed to be is representing Christ and the church and the unification of becoming one and
Hmm.
the like getting ready for Jesus's return and getting ready for the supper of the Lamb and just getting ready for all that stuff and
Yeah.
but I just love like I want to be married so bad, but I know God is putting me through these next 36 days, I believe, as I'm recording this, to get ready. We're getting married September 27th, but I think it's 36 days, something like that. 37, 36, something like that. But anywho, to
Just show
be
up and you'll be fine.
yeah, exactly. But like but um but yeah, like to really hunker down and to really focus on what matters, which is serving God and serving my wife, my future wife, and serving God's kids and God's people. And I feel like when you align everything back to God's word, I mean, life is so easy, and life is so I mean, it's a piece of cake because God makes it a piece of cake, because His yoke is easy, His word says, and it's light, it's nothing, it's nothing.
Also just read that the other day because that's also in Matthew. So
Yeah, dude, Matthew is full of bangers. I mean,
rocks.
Jesus just
He's just
just
straight spit and facts.
dude, literally, bro. Like,
Yeah.
especially in the Beatitudes. I literally last
Yeah.
week I spent so
Yeah.
much time in the Beatitudes.
Mhm.
Like, I mean, especially because it really. I'm gonna pull it up right now, and I wanted to. I'm gonna rant for a little bit, but I'm gonna tell you to download this app. It's called the Blue Letter Bible app. It's so good. I don't know if you downloaded it before,
I
but
haven't heard of it.
okay, download it, bro. It's the best app ever because it's the app that we use in my church, but it pulls out the Greek and the Hebrew like a study Bible,
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
but like it's on your phone and it's just so easy. It really enhances your study time with the Lord because obviously God's word isn't just words on a page. It's so much deeper. You can go so much deeper when you pull out the actual word that was used from the Greek in the New Testament and the Hebrew in the Old Testament. And when you pull that stuff out, you can literally have a study on one word in God's word for like an hour. Like
Yeah.
you can go so deep, and that's just scratching the surface. And that's the beauty of God's word.
I will
And
say that it's like I do stand by, as long as you're not reading something that's like literally like sacrilege or something. Like the best Bible is the Bible you're going to read, you know? But that reasoning is why I specifically like to read the ESV, is because it like tries to stick as close to the original language as possible, because it's important to remember that the books of the Bible were written by real historical people that were breathed by the word of God, and there is significance to that. So I think I think some people nerd out a little too much over the Greek and the stuff, but
oh, for sure.
there is a lot of importance to it as well, to really, because there's not like a one for word across languages, so it is important to get into that stuff sometimes. So
Yeah.
it is a cool resource to have.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Um, like I'll give you an example. Like when this is one of my favorite examples to use, like Acts 1:8, where Jesus says, "But you shall receive power when the Holy Spirit has come upon you, and you shall be witnesses to me in Jerusalem and in all Judea, Samaria, and the ends of the earth." And Jesus, the word power that is written there, the word power means it's spelled dynamis, but it's pronounced dunamis. And what do we think of when we hear that word? I mean, dunamis, dynamis. I think of the word dynamite, and that's where we get the word dynamite from in the English. And the word literally means in the outline of biblical usage, um, like strength, power, ability, inherent power, power residing in a thing by virtue of its nature, of which a person or thing exerts and puts forth. Excuse me. Power for performing miracles, moral power and excellence of the soul, the power and influence which belong to riches and wealth, power and resources arising from numbers, power consisting in or resting upon armies, forces, hosts. And then if you go deeper into the word, um, to be able to do something, to be able to capable, to be strong and powerful, obviously, right? But the point of like pulling out the word in the Greek. I mean, I'm not like a Greek nerd or anything like that, but I really love pulling it out, and because it really gives a deeper understanding. I feel like I'm gonna sneeze. Woo.
Bless you.
Thank you. It gives you a deeper understanding of like the word and like the word that is being said by Jesus or by Paul or whoever. And God gives us this power freely every single day. Like the ability to do anything through God's word. Like I mean, obviously Philippians 4:13, everyone knows that verse. But like God gives us the power, literally. Like we can do all things through Christ who strengthens us, you know? Like we can literally do that. And this is the kind of power that he gives us, like performing miracles, moral power and excellence of soul. Like he gives us this all-consuming power every single day, but we just have to believe in it and walk in it every single day, you know? And but yeah, this app is fantastic, and I was literally reading Matthew 5, well, all last week, and I really meditated on the first couple beatitudes, like blessed are the poor in spirit, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven, and like really meditating on that, like what does poor in spirit actually mean to me? And when I don't understand a certain text or something, I can just go in this app. It shows text commentaries of like biblical scholars that have studied
Hmm.
this word, and it gives a better insight on stuff. And I like to look at that sometimes too. But what does it mean to be poor in spirit, you know? And it really all starts there. And notice how that's the first beatitude. Blessed are the poor in spirit, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven. That is the first one because poor in spirit is the complete opposite of being prideful and thinking that I can do it myself, you know, because poor in spirit means you're begging God to move. You're begging God to use you for whatever today, to serve my wife, to serve my kids, to I literally can't do anything without you, Jesus. Like please help me get through today. Help me to see your miracles today. Help me to do things for your will alone, you know, and really focusing on that and being poor in spirit, and instead of like, oh no, I can just do this. It's easy. I can do it by myself, God. You know, I don't really need you right now, God. I can do this by myself. You know, and like just really stepping back and thinking like, what does being poor in spirit mean? You know, and it's so good. I love the Beatitudes. But yeah, that's all I want to say.
Yeah, heck yeah. Yeah, that would be a great resource for anyone who can do it. I have the Bible app on my phone, but I find that like if I read it on my phone, I am very likely to get distracted if I have a notification pop up or something. I'll be like, "Oh, I need to text that person back. I forgot about this or that." And where if I have like a physical paper Bible, I can leave my phone on the other side of the
Oh,
room and not
sure,
even think
sure.
about it. Yeah.
But you can also put your phone on like do not disturb while you open
Yeah,
up
yeah,
the Bible app.
yeah.
But I wanted to say I don't just read it off my phone. I read it like with my study Bible as well.
Oh, nice. Yeah, yeah.
It's just an easier tool
To find
to
like dive
find
deeper and
exactly. And then
yeah,
I go
yeah.
back to my regular Bible where I'm
Yeah,
actually
yeah.
looking at the word. You know, I'm not just like always on my phone, you know, reading the word, because I like a physical Bible as well, because I mean that's what we're meant to use, you know. And um but yeah, it's just an extra tool to really dig
Yeah.
deeper. But it's so good. But yeah, if you guys are ever out in New Jersey or the Philadelphia scene area one day, I mean, if you guys got Lord willing, if you guys stay here like overnight or something like that, if you need a church or you need something to stay or to come, you know, you can always come through to our church over here. Um,
Yeah, yeah,
but
man.
yeah,
We'd love to do East Coast sometimes. We haven't made it out that far yet. I don't think we've made it farther east than Chicago.
okay, wow,
So yeah, there's a lot of the country left to get out to, and
yeah,
we'll make it happen at some point if we can. What I'd really like to do is do like maybe a week or something where we can get out and hit some East Coast, or maybe a week where we can go out and hit West Coast because we got friends and bands out there. We could
yeah,
probably make something happen. So,
yeah,
yeah, again, unfortunately, a lot of moving parts, especially because we all have big kid jobs, and
yeah,
a
yeah,
couple
yeah,
of us are married, and I have kids and stuff.
yeah, yeah,
But we'd love to make it happen. I think there is something important about music in the live setting. I think that's where it can speak. I think Dakota Whiteside, who's the guy behind Desolate Tomb, he's the
mhm,
guy who mixed our record. He did a great job, I think.
wow,
But we're a live band, all right. We sound way better live.
yeah, yeah,
So there's something important about that in our live energy, but also just that. That's where you get to actually be with people. We if people want to message us on Facebook or Instagram or something, I'll respond. But like if people want to talk to us about our music or talk to us about our faith or stuff, that the live setting is where you do that, right? You can listen to our music in your car or whatever, but if uh if you want to dive deeper and stuff, the live music setting is where that happens best. So we only play a handful of shows a year, but we'd like to do it more, and we'd like to get out to new places and to new people and stuff like that. So
Yeah.
we'd love to make it happen.
Well, there's a lot of bands on the East Coast.
Yes. Yes,
A
there
lot
are.
of a lot of bands on the East Coast, and I mean, yeah, I mean, I would love for you guys to come to Philly or near Philly, even Baltimore or whatever, or
Hmm.
even New York City, who knows, or New York, or like upstate New York. I mean, there's plenty of bands in this area, and like you can definitely come tag along. You know what I'm saying? And that'd be so cool.
Yeah, it's really a matter of well, for step one, we have to find a new drummer. So if
Yeah,
you're
yeah, yeah, yeah,
interested, message us and
yeah,
try out to be our drummer. But the next thing would just be that there's the interest in us to do it because we're still a small band,
yeah.
and we don't have the draw to do it ourselves. We can't just go out and do East Coast and be like, come see Tundra. Everyone be like,
Right, right,
who
right.
dat? So we'd have to go out with some other bands that are out there.
Some
Like
hitters.
yeah, yeah. People who are a little more established might have a little bit more of a draw, or maybe it's like a church tour thing where
Oh yeah,
it's like youth groups are putting it on or something like that, like they used to do in the olden days.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
So
yeah.
it's definitely doable.
You know who I could see you on tour with?
Hmm.
I could see you on tour with No Treaty.
No treaty, yeah.
Yeah,
They were at Chains Unchained with us
nice.
this summer,
Did,
so
did
it
you
was
meet? Did
actually
you meet
cool.
Danny?
Passively, we did like the cool set, bro. Like we did one
Oh,
of those numbers, but like not really anything
okay.
past that because our sets were like right after each other. Like
Yeah, yeah,
we played like right before them, so
yeah,
we were like running all over the place like lunatics trying to get our gear off and on stage and stuff.
yeah.
But that was really cool. It was really awkward actually, Chains Unchained this year because we played last year and they really liked us. And so they were like, "Hey, come back. We'll put you at a better slot so more people will see you." We're like, "Oh, cool. Well, thanks." But that meant that this year they put us in between two established bands. They put us in between Meadows and No Treaty.
Wow.
And we're like, "Okay, this is really weird. We got to bring our A game." And I think we did, but that was still kind of weird that we were playing in between two bands that like there's obviously people here who are here to see Meadows. There's
Yeah,
obviously
yeah,
people
yeah,
here to see No Treaty.
yeah.
And there were people there who like, "Oh, Tundra, we like Tundra," but like to a different extent, I would say. But it was really cool to see No Treaty live because they are a stellar live band. They're
Yeah.
very good live.
Danny is fantastic on vocals. I mean,
Yes.
I've talked to him. He's such a nice guy as well. I mean, shout out Danny, shout out No Treaty. Like, he's such a down to earth guy, and like, I mean, the whole band is really. I mean, like, they're so down to earth, and they want to help as many people as they can, and they want people to hear their music, obviously. But like, they're just very down to earth, and I just love that. I mean, like, I've met a couple of bands that are like are really big right now. Like, I mean, even Convictions. I talk with Mike like all the time, and he's so down to earth. He's so cool.
Yeah.
He's such an awesome, humble dude. And like there like there's so many bands out there that are like really awesome to talk to, and Danny is one of them. And um,
My favorite Kansas City show that we've played. So my favorite like semi-local show we've played, we were the opener for Convictions and Earthgroans.
wow,
And yeah, Mike's a really nice guy. I've got to talk to him a couple different times at different things, and
yeah,
yeah, he's a really cool, down to earth guy
yeah.
and great vocalist who writes really cool music. So, but
Shout
yeah,
out,
I think
shout out
that's something
Convictions.
you're gonna see a lot in the Christian metal scene is you're gonna see a lot of just normal people.
Yeah, yeah.
So
But that's how it should be.
yeah,
That's how music should be. Like whatever genre it is, it should be people wanting to be humble and just down to earth and just really want to have a relationship with their fans, with people, and like that's how it should be. And unfortunately, this world takes it to a whole nother level, and the devil really influences these big artists. I mean, a lot of Christian metal bands now that used to be Christian are not Christian anymore, and they've sold their lives to the world and just I mean, I'm not gonna name names, but you know who I'm talking about. But like, there's a couple
yeah,
recently, and it's just
yeah,
so sad. It's so sad that they forget who allowed them to have this stage, who allowed them to play the music that they're playing, and and to give them the gifts and talents to even make music, you know. And it's just a shame, man. They forget. They go prodigal and they just completely go into the world, and it's just so sad.
Yeah, the most recent one that I think we all know of is really bumming me out because
Yeah.
they were like my gateway band into core music,
Yep.
and I've had like a ups and downs relationship with their music anyways. Like some of their stuff I think is like awesome, and some of it is like yeah. But
Me
like
too.
this is like the first record that they're hyping up for that I'm just like I'm not even gonna listen to the full album. I'm
I
just not
know.
interested
Me
anymore, and
neither.
I'm just bummed. Like I'm not
Me
even
too.
like I don't have the personal conviction to like only listen to Christian music. I'll listen to music that's not
I have
Christian.
that
Like
conviction.
that's yeah, I know some people do, and I respect that, but um, me personally, that's not it. It's just more of just like the music's not good anymore in my
Yeah.
personal opinion. I just don't think it's good anymore.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. I mean, it's a shame. It really is a shame. But I'm kind of glad that God gave me that conviction because music is really strong and it can really influence you on like if you're especially if you're listening to a lot of secular music more than Christian music. It can really influence how you act, how you behave, how you talk to people, what you're saying. Like I mean, it really does, and what you're thinking as well. I mean, it really does influence you. That's why I mean, okay, if there's like a generic like song that comes up on the radio or something like in a store or something, obviously I'm not gonna like, oh my gosh, I can't listen to this. But
Yeah.
like you know, like I'm not that
Yeah.
legalistic. But like if I'm like in my personal life, like in my car and in the gym, I just listen to Christian music because it just helps me be aligned more with God, and that's just my personal conviction.
Mm.
But yeah.
Well, my guilty pleasure to is you mentioned Jersey. This is your Jersey boys. Like
Oh brother,
my guilty pleasure, Jonas Brothers.
brother,
Yeah,
oh
man.
brother.
Man, I would say top music in the world is Christian metal. I love Christian metal. I've been involved in the scene a long time. This is where a lot of my gateway bands were. This is where a lot of the stuff I still listen to is in my free time. Like when I do listen to music, that it's usually Christian metal. But like somewhere near the top there is for some reason the Jonas Brothers. That's kind
The
of a long story
Jonas
I don't want to get
Brothers.
into today, but yeah, Jersey man.
Hmm. Something about Jersey, huh?
Something
I
about
mean,
Jersey.
you and my fiance would be friends.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm thankful that she loves metal and she's so supportive of what I'm doing. Like, shout out Amy. I mean, I already shouted you out, but she's so awesome. She's so supportive. She's so like she helps me so much with like heavy praise stuff and like ideas and just stuff behind the scenes like that
Yeah,
people don't
right on.
see. And she's so great. And she loves metal. She loves everything. And she's not a picky person at all, like with music or food or anything like that. She's awesome. But yeah. Um well, any questions for me at all? Or like anything you want to ask me or yeah, anything at all? No?
Not really, man. I appreciate what you're doing. Like I kind of said towards the beginning, like having people like you around in the scene is a big help. There's a lot of cool small bands. Like I actually like I don't mean to toot our own horn, but I think Tundra's pretty neat. So when people kind of give us a little bit of like check these guys out, we appreciate it. And there's lots of really great underground Christian metal bands, and we're working hard. We're trying to make the best music we can, and we're doing it for a reason too. Like we want to spread hope and love and faith, and having people like you around to kind of give that stuff a little bit of a platform, and even your podcast. Like I've listened to a couple episodes of your podcast that we're here doing
Thank you.
today, that letting artists talk more about what they're doing. Like the music's great. Like that's kind of like the conduit for everything else that we're talking about, right? But like even just doing the podcast and talking with people for an hour or so, and just letting them get stuff off their chest and kind of see where they were coming from and certain things. I think it's really really helpful and good for the scene. So I appreciate what you're doing, and yeah, keep it up, man. I know that running the social media stuff can be a pain. Like my least favorite part about being in a band is social media. I hate social media. if I didn't have a band, I would not have a Facebook. I would not have an Instagram. I hate social media, but I have the band, so I have to
Yeah.
have it. So
Yeah.
keep up with it, and you're doing good work for the kingdom. So
Oh, thanks, man. I
yeah.
appreciate you a lot. That means a lot, and um, I'm excited for what things are to come. And things are coming, and they're in the works, and just ideas are being thrown out, and I'm just excited to see what the Lord's gonna do.
Oh, here's what you do, man. You put on the Heavy Praise like what's festival, right? You put on the Heavy Praise
Festival.
festival. You put something together, a Christian metal festival over in your neck of the woods, right? And that's how we
Yeah, yeah.
finally get out there. Yeah, you just
True,
that's
true.
what you do.
You know what? That's a great idea. I think I'm gonna do that next year.
Yeah, there you go.
Um, well, guys, that's all I got. That's all he's got. That's all we got. Just thank you so much for listening. Thank you so much for all the love and support recently. Go check out Tundra if you haven't already. They are a fantastic Christian metal band. Check out their album Eternal and stay tuned for who knows next couple months, end of the year, couple singles dropping. Stay tuned for that and stay tuned for updates on their new music. I mean, their music is fantastic. Go check out Eternal. Go check out and support everything that they're doing because they are on the right path and they just want to make music for God. And it's just so cool to see um, bands like Tundra that want to do this. And just thank you guys so much for all the love and support again. And I'm Heavy Praise, and I'm out of here. God bless, guys.